Paul Cunningham didn't wait for a pharmaceutical company or a research institution. He used AI tools to help design a personalized mRNA cancer vaccine for his dog Rosie, a months-long journey involving tumor sequencing, genomics labs, veterinary oncologists, and ethics approvals. This wasn't a thought experiment, it actually happened, and some of Rosie's tumors started shrinking. Paul used 3 major AI systems, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Grok, not as magic answer machines, but as cognitive accelerators. He learned cancer immunology, designed computational analysis pipelines, interpreted complex sequencing data, and narrowed down neoantigen targets that a vaccine could be built around. Tasks that would normally require years of graduate training were compressed into weeks of focused, AI-assisted learning. The phrase that defines this story is cognitive leverage. AI didn't replace the scientists, the lab technicians, or the veterinary oncologists. It gave one non-expert enough understanding to direct a complex research process, ask the right questions, and collaborate meaningfully with domain specialists. Historically, that kind of orchestration required a principal investigator with a PhD and a funded lab. Paul had none of that, and yet here we are. One of the most important details in Paul's story is what he didn't do. He didn't assume the first AI output was correct. He verified results with domain experts, hit dead ends on early approaches, pivoted multiple times, and kept iterating. This is actually how real science works. Hypothesis, failure, refinement, repeat. AI accelerated each cycle, but Paul's own determination and critical thinking drove the process forward. Here's the part most AI coverage completely misses. The hardest constraint Paul faced wasn't intelligence or compute, it was access. He had to hunt for labs willing to sequence a dog's tumor. He had to navigate ethics approval processes not designed for individuals. He had to find manufacturers capable of producing a custom mRNA vaccine. AI collapsed the knowledge gap dramatically, but the institutional infrastructure remained a formidable obstacle that required human persistence to navigate. There's a common pattern in AI discourse where people wait for some undeniable, universally recognized breakthrough moment, a before and after line everyone can agree on. But Rosie's story suggests those moments don't announce themselves. They happen quietly, driven by individuals who refuse to accept default outcomes. The proof of AI's transformative potential isn't in a benchmark or a press release. It's in a dog whose tumors are shrinking. Paul's story reframes the central challenge of the AI era. The question is no longer whether AI can make complex scientific knowledge accessible to determined non-experts. It clearly can. The question is whether our institutions, labs, regulatory bodies, medical systems, ethics boards, will evolve fast enough to work with empowered individuals rather than gatekeep them. The knowledge bottleneck is cracking open. The institutional bottleneck is the new frontier. The Rosie story is a template, not an exception. AI as a cognitive equalizer means that the gap between a credentialed expert and a deeply motivated, resourceful non-expert is narrower than it has ever been in human history. The implications stretch far beyond oncology, into law, engineering, environmental science, and any field where knowledge has historically been locked behind years of credentialed gatekeeping. The determined non-expert is becoming a new force in the world.